Hello, this is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner, and this is box number 2 of my traditional annual Christmas box demonstration. This one is huge. It's a pretty big size. This one is 7 by 2 1/4 by 1 1/2. Okay, and it is a top loading box, a little tuck in top there, and it's going to be completely decorated. And again, this is probably about the largest box that you can make out of a single sheet of 8.5 by 11. Okay, so I'm going to get out some supplies and I will be back, and we're going to go ahead and get started on this one, and that'll do it. I'll be right back. Okay, so standard stuff here for making a box. Glue or whatever adhesive you choose. Something to make your little finger pull on it. Scoring tools, scoreboard, pair of scissors, paper trimmer, and then we're going to want paper for our base and paper for our decorating if you're going to decorate this, okay? So, get everything out of the way. I'll be right back. We're going to do some cutting. We've got 4 pieces for the outside, 5 pieces for the outside to cut. And then our base piece, okay? So I'll be right back. So our piece is going to use the whole 11 inches. Now this is slightly bigger than that paper, just because I had a piece of this left. But it's going to be 8 by 11. So for an 8.5 by 11, you're only going to take a 1/2 inch off, okay? Eight by 11. All right, and then we're going to cut our pieces. Now, if you're using something that's directional, you want to make sure that you get the right, direction here. So we're going to cut 2 strips that are 2 inches. One with our direction going up. 2. Okay, and then we're going to cut 2 that are 1 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to cut these to 6 3/4. So 6 3/4. Six and 3/4. Okay, and then this is an optional piece, but you might want to put a little piece here at the top. And if you do, you're simply going to take one of the pieces that you have that's 2 inches, and you're just going to cut it this width. And this is, let me just show you this. This is 1 1/2, so you're going to cut it at 1 1/4, okay? So for the top piece, it is the width, which is the 2, by the depth, which is the 1 1/4, okay? So there's our 5 pieces of decorated paper. I'm going to get this out of the way, get the scoreboard out, and we're going to start getting this one scored up. I'll be right back. All right, so I have my paper in my scoreboard with the long side, the 11-inch side across the top, and we're going to score this at 1 1/2. A couple of light scores here. Doesn't need to be really harsh, okay? 8 1/2, and then again at 10. All right, and then we're going to turn this, and we're going to score this at, we're going to turn it so that the double piece is at the bottom, and then we're going to score this again at 1 1/2. Had to think for a second. 1 1/2. 3 3/4, 5 1/4. And then 7 1/2. Okay? So that's all of our scoring. And so at this point, we're just going to fold and burnish all of our scores, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some pieces that need to come off of here. I'll be right back. All right, so this is the top of our box. The top is the part that has 2 smaller boxes, then the long box, and then 1 small box at the bottom. So we're going to get rid of a few pieces here. So let me grab a pen, because that's going to show up better. And we're going to go ahead and mark what we're going to take off of here. So we're going to take off this top one and the next one down on that 1/2 inch, and then we're going to take off the bottom piece of that as well. Okay? Then we're going to leave these 2. And we're going to take off this one, this one, this one, and that one. Okay? All of these are going to stay. So, let me grab my scissors. So, we're going to take off this straight line. Okay? And we're going to wedge this little side piece. Beep. At the bottom, we're going to wedge that little side piece into the X, and then, get rid of this. So now we have that little flap on the side. Okay? Let me just straighten this up a little bit, because that's a little wonky. That's straighter. Okay. Then, back up here at the top, we're going to get rid of this box, this box, this box, and this box. Okay? So, straight down just to the outside of the score line. Same thing here. And then across here, down. And then, see, we can fold that piece, and then we're just going to take that piece off. Okay, and we're going to take that little piece off, and then one last cut, and we're done here. Okay, and this piece. Now, I'm going to wedge this to take out the score line. I'm going to wedge the other side of it. I'm going to do the same thing here, both sides. And then I'm going to turn this around. Okay? So this is our top. Nothing, 2 boxes, 1 box, nothing, 1 box. Okay? On the bottom, pretty much going to do the same thing. We're going to cut up, wedge on the small piece. Always wedge on the small piece. Always a straight line on the large piece, wedge on the small piece, okay? So, straight line on the large piece, wedge on the small piece. Straight on the larger piece, wedge on the smaller piece. I'm going to wedge this piece. Make sure that I got everything nice and clean. Take a little bit more here to straighten this line up. There we go. All right, so now you should have 4 flaps at the bottom and your kind of weird configuration at the top. All right, so I'm going to get this cleaned up. When I come back, we're going to put on our decorated paper and get this box put together. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have 5 pieces, and you can obviously see where they go. I'm going to put one here, and then a thin one here, and then a fatter one here, a wider one there, and then a thinner one over here. And then this little guy is going to go right up here, okay? But here's the trick. This guy has to be upside down. All right? So we're going to glue these down. If you want to ink them by all means. You do not have to. But if you want to, go ahead and ink them. The other thing we're going to be doing before we put these down is this piece right here. If you have a corner rounder, it's going to help to do this. take out your corner rounder and just round the 2 corners here, okay? That is going to help when you insert this. And then over here, that's where we're going to put our little thumb pull. Right there, okay? So once I put the paper on, I'm probably going to have to redo that, but that's okay. I can redo it. But I just want to have kind of the idea, all right? So you can pause the video and put these down, all right? But I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So remember, this piece needs to go upside down, okay? And by upside down, I mean on this flap up here. On the section that has the straight flaps down here, we're not putting anything there. And then across the board, everything's going to be going up towards that weirdly cut section. Okay. Now the way this is cut, it gives you 1/8 of an inch all the way around. You'll understand that in a minute. Okay. Now I am using the glue that has a little bit of play to it, not my art glitter glue. This is the Obsid craft glue. Because it has a little bit of play, it lets me kind of wiggle it around a little bit and get it straight. See, I'm going to need to take that fingernail back out. That's okay. It's just easier to do it at this point than it is once the box is put together. Okay, so let me take that out again. Go. All right, so now I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to come back. We're going to put it together. I'll be right back. Let's put it together. You're going to turn it over so that you have the inside of the box facing you, and you're going to flip up that little side in 1/2 inch. It doesn't matter which side this is on. Don't freak out, okay? Glue. And then at the second fold line, we're just going to fold it over. Hit it with your bone folder. Okay? That's your box. Now we're going to turn this over. If you want to, you can cut these off a little bit. They're not really necessary. They're kind of long. So if you want them off, just trim them down a little bit. Fold those 2 in. Now, this is the back. This piece is the back. That's the part you want to fold in first. And then go ahead and put your glue down and fold over that part. Because that's the front. So you want that. You don't want that to, you don't want this, you know, showing the line. You want it to be nice. Okay? Just like that. And then up here, again, if you want, you can trim these little pieces off a little bit. Fold those in, and then fold this down. And that is why we put this on upside down, because, you see that? It's right side up, okay? So that's our little box. So this is a good size one. It is 7.5 inches long. 7 inches long. It's 2 1/4 inches. 7 inches long, 2 1/4 inches wide, and 1.5 inches deep. Okay, and there it is. Simple, easy peasy. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. All right. So if you're new here, go ahead and check out the community tab. It tells you everything that I got going on. Consider pushing the button and subscribing. And what else? Check out my Facebook group. There's links in the description box below. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.